My guest today went from nearly broke to building a $100 million real estate business, not through cold calls, not through door knocking, but through a camera and a YouTube strategy.
I was about to go broke, so I took out a $30,000 loan of my 401k, and I said, if this doesn't work, I'm out of here. Started getting appointments, started closing deals, did 24 deals my first year, did 24 deals my second year, and then I was like, this is burning me out. Like, this is not sustainable. When I got into real estate, I noticed everybody was doing video marketing, but I was like, nobody is really, in my opinion, like answering the questions of the consumers. They're all doing ego-based content. We live in a very distracted economy here in real estate, so my advice is always like sphere first. And then just do more of what's working and then build things on the side that you can just like add incremental revenue from.
My guest today went from nearly broke to building a $100 million real estate business, not through cold calls, not through door knocking, but through a camera and a YouTube strategy that nearly changed everything. Jesse Dow is the co-founder of Channel Junkies, a 6-time icon agent at eXp Realty and one of the architects behind Living in YouTube framework that's helped nearly 4,300 agents globally generate more than $750 million in gross commission income, all from organic content. Jesse, welcome to X Factor Marketing.
Excited to be here. Thank you.
Well, we're excited to have you. So let's go back to the beginning.
Yep.
You and Jackson Wilkie started Channel Junkies with almost no money.
Yep.
And you had this vision of doing something different through YouTube.
Yeah.
What led to that?
So what led to that is actually going broke actually was like when I was started into real estate and I started my business, and just like everyone else, like you were sold this dream and idea of like, our office has the most leads, all the things. Obviously that didn't happen. And I talked to an agent in the office and he said, all the hottest leads are for sale by owners and open house. When as a sign in front of their house, when people are actually actively shopping. So my first year in real estate, I wrote all my own scripts. I had a big background in sales and understanding human psychology with sales. And I ended up closing 24 deals my first year. And I was about to go broke before that happened. So I took out a $30,000 loan of my 401k and I said, if this doesn't work, I'm out of here. Started getting appointments, started closing deals, did 24 deals my first year, did 24 deals my second year. And then I was like, this is burning me out.
Right.
I have this is not sustainable. And I was working like 20 hours a day.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So the company I worked for previously, Mark Anthony Brands, owns White Claw and Mike's Hard Lemonade. And back in the day, they decided to go 100% away from traditional TV, radio, billboard into digital and social media strategies. And this is before like anyone was doing Facebook ads or video marketing heavily. And all of our buyers, so I was in the corporate side calling on Walmart, 7-Eleven, Costco, HQs, and they all thought we were crazy. They didn't really understand the game at this time. So we got really extensive training, understood the powers of digital and social media marketing. Our business doubled from 250 million in sales to 500 million in sales 1 year, no new products. And it was just because we could target market our consumers the right way and not, put a TV on an ad on the TV that maybe a child might see, right?
Right.
So now you're really heavily marketing to 21 plus year olds. Well, when I got into real estate, I noticed everybody was doing video marketing. It was the big thing back then. This was like 2017, 2018. But I was like, nobody is really, in my opinion, like answering the questions of the consumers. They're all doing ego-based content. So I decided, I was like, I'm going to get 100% into digital and social, and I'm going to figure this out. So I was actually doing all the platforms: Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, YouTube. We had 13 different avenues we were testing. I had a camera crew. They were following us around. And we were like doing like day in the life, and I was following the process like that was being taught from the stages. And then I started a podcast called The Digital Mayor Now, where I was interviewing all of these agents that were big on video. And I'd ask them, are you guys closing deals? They'd all say no. They're like, well, I'm getting referrals. I'm building this big following. There was one agent who said that they'd closed deals from YouTube, and they were taking their videos from YouTube, they're taking their blogs from Google and just converting them to videos on YouTube.
Right.
And she's like, yeah, I'm actually closing deals. So at that time, Jackson was my assistant. And I said, let's go and look and see what those videos are that are actually generating the traffic. And we noticed that they were all like living in Portland, cost of living in. And we noticed that living in was like the big keyword that was being used in all these big videos. So we went to this Google search tool. We type in cost of living in Portland. It was searched 30,000. We go to this YouTube search tool at the time called Morning Fame. We type it in. It was being searched 300,000 times. And that's like when the light bulb moment went off. We were like, that's where the gold is right there. It's all of these keywords that people are searching for when they're relocating.
That's great. So let's pause on that for a second, because even though that was a number of years ago, that strategy of looking at what is being searched and then creating content around it is still a very effective strategy today that content creators, which we all should be honing in on.
Yeah, the way that YouTube is completely shifted is like the algorithm is actually smarter than like the human manually typing. So yes, it is so YouTube measures traffic by traffic source types. So like browse and suggested is the algorithm. Search is not part of that algorithmic measurement.
Okay.
So yes, it is a small piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
And it's good for starting out. But for like the long play, like when you open up your YouTube feed and you see the videos on the homepage, that's called browse.
Right.
And same with like in your phone feed. So that you're always creating signals on any social media platform. If you ever watch The Social Dilemma on Netflix, it tells you all about it.
Yeah.
And so it knows based on consumer behavior or viewer behavior what videos to put in front of their face.
Yes.
But yes, manual search, whether it's chat, Google, YouTube, it's still very powerful because it gives you a guide into where you're going to go.
Yes. Okay. So I want to come back to that because I want you to like give us some like strategies, because that is literally what you do now for agents in the industry. But take us a little bit more then through the arc. So you sort of took the data and took your past experiences. Developed the living in strategy, and then take us through the arc of then what turned into sort of Channel Junkies and kind of the business and the arc of what we know of you today.
Channel Junkies really became Channel Junkies when we got a cease and desist letter from Google saying you can't use our trademark YouTube agents.
Like that puts you in kind of rare air to get a cease and desist from Google. Like that's kind of cool, Jesse.
I know. I was like, we'd gotten, because we were from Portland, so we'd gotten cease and desist letters from Nike from using their images in our videos before, and I kind of ignored. So this
is a thing, right?
Kind of a thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
But Kyle Whistle actually called me one day and said, you should change your name. I think you're going to get hit by Google. And I actually consulted with an attorney, and he said, no, it's perfectly fine. Well, that ended up not being true.
Wow.
So anyways, what happened was we were doing these videos. We'd actually closed like one deal, and we actually consulted with a video expert, and he was like in the YouTube space, and he's like, you guys need to move your call to action to the front side of the video, tell people to call you. We did that, and then boom, we had like 40 leads in one day of people saying, we've been watching you on YouTube. We didn't know you were agents.
Is that still true today? I know I'm bouncing
no, we do
back and forth.
We use a strategy today. We call it the Undercover call to action.
Yeah.
So let's just say you're like touring a house and you're like, we love these wood color cabinets, but maybe wood's not your style. You like painted colors.
Yeah.
We'll reach out, give us a call, shoot us a text, and we'll help you make those decisions. That's what I call an undercover call to action.
Okay.
Because now you have to make enough deposits, and the viewers are too savvy to know that like if you're hitting them with the CTA too soon, you haven't put enough deposits in the bank to get a withdrawal.
So an undercover call to action. Kind of bury it into the content through the conversation you're having
100%.
Throughout the video.
100%.
Undercover call to action.
Yeah.
I like that.
And so even at the end of the video, people will always be like, they'll do the big reveal and then they'll do their call to action again. And you'll see the video just tank at the end. So we coach agents at a very high level that are doing, some agents are doing over 100 transactions on YouTube. So I tell them, I say, just flip that sequence at the end. So say, all right, guys, you guys have all came to see the price of this house. Well, before I reveal that, remember, I'm the #1 relocation here in the marketplace. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an emails, days, nights, weekends, we got your back. And now the price of this home is $499,000. And if you want to see more houses just like this one, go ahead and click on this list and we'll see you over there. So I just flip that sequence. We want the reveal to be the very last thing that they get. And you don't tell them, hey, stay to the end, I'm going to show you the price, because what are they going to do? They're going to skip.
Yes.
So you just keep rehooking them back. This is amazing kitchen for this price. This is amazing primary bathroom for this price. And you're not saying, and by the way, I'm going to tell you the price soon. No, you're just saying it like you've already said it, and you're just moving through the conversation.
And you're analyzing the actions, the viewer, the watcher, is taking throughout
100%.
every second of the video.
Yeah. So when YouTube releases your video, it shoots it to browse, which is on the homepage. Those are all measurement signals to YouTube. And so what it's measuring is it's measuring your average view duration, your 30-second retention, what the drop-off rates are, what the click-through rates are at the end of the video. And then it starts pushing it into what they call suggested. So the video that plays next in the feed on your phone, as long as the signal strength's higher, it'll push it more into suggested. And then that's where the true measurement of YouTube is. So people will wonder why their video just dies after like a day or two. And the reason why is because their suggested click-through rate is too low, because more likely that viewer is seeing your video for the first time. So if the thumbnail doesn't make sense, or it's too like low in the funnel of a buyer to like know exactly what it is, if the thumbnail said like this or that, like you'd be like, what does that mean? And you just scroll right past it. But if it said this or that new construction home in Houston, you would know exactly what that was, and the consumer would be more likely to tap on that video. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at those click-through rates and suggested traffic. And I'm actually looking at all the measurements like right away. I'm looking at the 1 hour mark, 12-hour mark, 24-hour mark, 48-hour mark, because it's like being a professional athlete. Like you're striving for the edge of the metrics.
Yes.
So you're solving in everything. It's like EXP's motto, everything's in beta on YouTube. And this will drive people crazy, especially me, because I actually used to work in analytics. I'm like, no, I want this.
You're definitely a data person.
I want the measurement. And then I have to tell my clients, hey guys, we're always testing. We're always testing.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Okay. So on the always testing front, let's talk about titles and hooks. So, give me the lowdown.
The number one thing is people get really hung up in the weeds on this. The reality is we focus on one driver city. And what I mean by that is, let's just use Seattle, Washington.
Yes.
No one moving here knows about any suburb.
Okay.
They're only searching Seattle information. You could make 100 videos about living in Seattle, Washington, but never actually touch the city of Seattle, Washington.
Okay.
So if you're a consumer moving here and you're just high level searching best neighborhoods in Seattle, you might learn about Renton, Kirkland, Everett, and you never even talk about Seattle. So realistically, we're just hacking the algorithm through what people are manually searching or what they know that they're looking for. And then as far as the hook goes, yes, the hook is the most important piece. We used to use this strategy, which a lot of people still use because we've been in this for like almost a decade now, which is the hook, call to action, video, outro, call to action again. That's the old school style. Now you need to get into the video super quick. So we're trying to keep 70% of our audience retained in the first 30 seconds. So that means you got to hit them hard with a good hook, and you got to keep them rehooked throughout the video.
So what's a formula for a good hook?
A good hook would be like, let's just say I'm standing in front of let's just use a home tour. So before COVID, home tours were not very valuable. The consumer behavior dramatically changed through COVID. Remember, before COVID, everyone just wanted space. They wanted flexibility. They wanted to travel everywhere.
Yes.
Now everyone cares about space in their house, in home offices, all that stuff. Beautiful home. So they just want more. So now like home tours are a big piece of our sales funnel with our video content. And so let's just say we're standing in front of this beautiful house, and beautiful always works better. I'm not saying 5 million luxury. I'm talking like whatever you're a little bit higher, because everybody shops above their price point. We know sign calls. They're always like, oh, I can't afford this, right? How much is that? 500? Oh, I'm only approved for 350. It happens. We all know that's the normal thing.
Yes.
So you're standing in front of this beautiful house. Let's just say it's a single level RV bay home. And we'd say something to the effects of like, so you're thinking about relocating to Boise, Idaho. Well, today I'm standing in front of one of the most impressive houses that I've ever seen. And this RV bay is bigger than I've ever seen. But the things that's going to impress you most about this house is the tax rate and the price. So let's get inside.
So is the hook the tax rate and the price? Like, was it the hook?
It's 2 hooks.
So that's a double hook.
Yeah, I actually did 3. I did the RV bay size, the tax, and the price.
Okay. So I want to, in the first 30 seconds of a video, I want to engage the viewer with the strongest 1, 2, or 3 hooks about a property that I have to lead with. Yeah.
So I know like our consumer, like moving to Boise, property taxes there are dirt cheap. I was telling someone last night, I'm like, our house is, a $1.1 million house, and the property taxes are $3,500 a year. That's very attractive to a lot of people. That's why a lot of people like to live there. Too, so like when you reveal the taxes, they're like super excited. Well, if you're moving to another city where the taxes are $40,000 a year, that's not going to be a valuable point to make. So you can't follow that same strategy, right? So we know our consumers love single level RV bay homes, and they love the low taxes. So I'm looking at all that metrics to see like which of our videos play the best, which titles are playing the best. Well, then you start to build this avatar and this profile. Obviously, when the leads are coming in and I see that 80% of our sales are single level homes with RV bays, okay, that's my avatar.
Yep, those are your hooks.
And last night I just looked at our metrics on a channel. Less than 10% of our views were new viewers. There was 90% returning viewers. So I'm like, we have such a core audience built into all these channels that you really start to understand what they want. And obviously there's comments in the feeds. You see like where the video picks up and there's a spike. Well, that's what they like. So I'm like seeing this, RV bays, boom, there's a spike there. So then you're like, well, do I do my call to action at the very end of the video in the RV bay, or am I going to do it in the kitchen?
That's awesome. That's a great takeaway. All right. It wouldn't be a conversation with you if we didn't talk about AI.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about YouTube. You gave us some great tips and insights on YouTube, but let's talk about AI. Mm-hmm. What are you thinking about on AI? What are you playing with right now? What's on your mind? I know you are in there. You are like playing with the machines. You're building the robots.
Yeah. I'm curiously cautious. And, this is a very fast evolving space. I've been through a lot of technology changes in my life with, Outlook becoming a thing, social media becoming a thing.
Outlook. I haven't even thought about Outlook in so long. It's a funny word to me.
My mom was telling me the other day, like, what happened to WordPerfect? And I'm like, okay,
remember the little paper clip?
Oh yeah. I remember
when the paper clip was like revolutionary? Like, oh my goodness.
Wait, the internet was going to shut down in 2000, all this stuff.
Yes.
So then I'm like, okay, now we're in this AI world, which is like, it was a glorified Google search for a little while, and the output was like very generic. Well, it's because our input is very generic. So if you tell it to make you a script or an email sequence, it's going back to the machine to get that information. So everything comes out generic. So in today's world, what I'm doing is I'm trying to put as much data into the machine as possible to give me the outputs I'm looking for. So it's just like training a human being. I can't just tell someone, hey, make me a thumbnail and then expect like the result I want. I need to give it examples. I need to give it creative. I needed to give it a brand guide, all the style stuff, all the things. So once I started figuring that out, and a pro tip that I learned from Alex Hormozi was, he was like, you should go on Upwork, hire a professional that knows this stuff at a high level, and just ask them if they'll tutor you for 8 hours.
And this is something I am taking away from our conversation is go on Upwork, hire a professional, and ask them to tutor you on whatever topic it is around AI.
Exactly.
And learn that way.
Yep.
I mean, that is such a brilliant pro tip.
So Alex Hormozi told me that the way that he learned like so many different variables of business was every time he hired somebody for a job, he would say, I want you to record it and send it to me. And I also want to see you do it. Mm-hmm. So even when I'm interviewing people for jobs, because even with the AI advancements, people will cheat a lot now. I say, I want to see you do it in front of me. So I have a specific sequence of how I hire for roles also. Because in our agency, we have 22 plus employees. Mm-hmm. So I want to see them do it. But to your point, yes, I will put out a job post. I will say, this is what I'm looking to get accomplished. I also want to be tutored for this amount of time. Yeah. And you get really good results. So the most impressive thing that I've received from that experience actually is like in Claude projects and just like, even just like toggling on the memorization of your Claude project, creating your project, taking your transcript, say, because we have thousands of YouTube videos. So we'll take the transcript. Anyone can do this. Go to the description, click on the transcript, download it. You put it into Claude, tell it to make it a markdown file. Then you just take that same file, upload it into your project, and you start building up this big memory bank. So for YouTube specifically, even for our channels, I have one that's only for like talking head style videos.
Yes.
Those are like our pros and cons, cost of living, very top of funnel, the highly searched videos that you were talking about.
Yes.
And then I have one for home tours. We don't really script the home tours, but some people need some help. So we create outlines and talking points. But then you want to make sure that you load in your filler words, because in video editing world, we love to take out all the mistakes.
Yes.
So, but that when you create a content, you don't want it to be too perfect, because then people are like, oh, this is Hollywood, this person's fake, all the things. So you want to make sure that it sounds like natural language. And when you see like even Brian Buffini speak, Alex Hormozi, all these guys, they're all using scripts. You see it behind them on the screen, and they're using like bullet pointed scripts, and it's very natural because they have like specific prompts in there to make it sound natural.
Yes.
So I've taken a lot away from that on how to write like scripts inside of AI at a high level. and you would never even know that it's like coming off of a script, because I've been like anti-script my whole life. But now I'm all for script.
All for natural script.
Natural script, yes. You want to make sure it's natural language, right at a 3rd grade reading level, put my filler words in.
And those are important things to put in prompts.
Yes.
And even at the, I guess, beginner level, right? Because you took us a little advanced there. But even at a beginner level, like including those things in a prompt. You mentioned right at a 3rd grade level, capture my voice. Like those are important things for people to understand, is that when we're using AI, we don't want it to make us perfect.
Exactly.
That's how it screams AI. Like I always say, you smell it on the scroll. When somebody has just put something in a prompt and AI just spits something out that sounds so inauthentic that it is not you.
Yeah, and YouTube actually has 2 tools built into YouTube now. It's a tool that measures for AI voice and a tool that measures for AI imagery. So if it senses that it's too high, it'll throttle the content backwards. So remember when all those faceless videos were huge?
Yes.
And now they don't exist?
Yes, they hate that.
Yes. And so like Neil Mohan, the CEO of YouTube, has specifically stated like this is going to remain a creator's platform.
Yes. So, and has even taken away like monetization for
yes.
creators if they're using the AI like
yeah.
that. Yes.
Yes.
Which if you take the money away, that will change the behavior really quickly.
Yes, that's the stick approach.
That is the stick approach for sure. Give us a couple takeaways. So for the listeners, what are a couple things that you would give advice that agents should be doing right now?
Things that agents should be doing is whatever you're doing that's working, just do more of that. I think people get super distracted. We live in a very distracted economy here in real estate. So that's been what happens is we all start to see success and then we're like, see something new and shiny. So we go and chase that. And so I just say, stay consistent, do what you're doing that that works, do more of that. And if you can do it better and create more sales out of it, people always think it's crazy that I live in this huge world of social media, but my advice is always like sphere first.
Yes.
And then just do more of what's working and then build things on the side that you can just like add incremental revenue from.
Great advice. Great advice. The podcast is called X Factor. You've been hearing me talk a lot about this X Factor. I believe we all have this superpower that is our authentic X Factor. What do you think your personal X Factor is?
I think I'm really good at, I think I'm really good with like identifying opportunities. So when they talked about the genome thing last night, I actually had read that book and I was like, yes, that's like my personality style. So that's actually even in corporate America, I was used in like space management. So like I would look at identifying opportunities and I love data. So I can like see like things working and I'm also very consistent and staying in the game, knowing that there's a result coming. So like, and I also I don't just get distracted very easily. So that's what I would say my X factor is.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and thank you for being such a huge contributor to the EXP community.
Oh, thank you.
Always show up and you are a huge contributor in so many ways.
Yeah,
and
I love being here.
Very much appreciated.
Thank you. I appreciate that.